everyone, it's me again, and this is going to be a kind of a rant about what's been happening in the rhythm game community that I've been seeing that I really want to discuss. Yeah, the first thing I want to talk about in the new year is something I never thought I would want to bring up, but it has been a problem ever since I've been in this certain rhythm game community, and it honestly just makes my head spin because of how people think about this. So, and I'm doing that thing again. So, yeah, I feel like it's now time to discuss my opinions about this certain thing that's been happening. I don't know if my mic is capturing the fan of my PC, but oh well. So, this is gonna be more experienced in the Groove Coaster community because I am I am a part of it and it's been with me like almost my entire rhythm game life, I could say. But we will discuss other examples once I make the claim. So, one of the things I've been seeing, and this has happened so far this year that I never thought I'd see, even though it's inevitable, is it's not something like that has like a direct like vocabulary to it. It I would say is more of a quote. So let me phrase it like this. So one thing that people have the mindset of in a rhythm game community is this. Let me do this, and boom. This chart is hard, therefore it sucks. Yeah, this is something I've been seeing a lot lately, and this is more, of course, more towards Groove Coaster in general, as I've been seeing that for the most part. I'm sure there are other rhythm game communities have that has said something similar to this as well. So, but because I've seen it in Groove Coaster, I can't back up that claim. So we're going to be talking more about that and another game I want to talk that people have that mindset of. So let's get started with this this. So I have seen a couple of messages, comments, whatever, about because a chart is hard up to a higher skill level, it sucks. And I'm just gonna be forward with it. That has got to be the dumbest claim I've ever heard. Because it's like saying I don't like oranges because it's orange. Like, what the fuck? So, analogy aside, I think people have this mindset because they tend to think that they're able to do this, to do a certain hard chart in one shot, or however term I would put it. But no, they play it once or a couple of times. They can't get the score they want to get, and they just end it off with, "This chart is hard." So, so yeah, that's that's a claim that I feel has got to be the worst claim to have in a rhythm game mindset. Is because people tend to think that when people say this claim, let me say it like this: when people say this claim, they don't want to improve on that chart. Is pretty much what they're saying. Like they play it once, see how difficult it is, can't get a good enough score, so they end off saying something similar to this. This chart is stupid. This chart is garbage. Whatever. And that's something that's been bothering me for so long in rhythm game as a whole. And when I have captured a couple of those claims many times in the Groove Coaster community. I won't say who, but if they're watching, I'm sure they know who, but who cares? Anyways. Now, here are some examples of why of this of people saying this. Therefore, but it has nothing to do with like bad patterns or anything like that in the chart. Like why it actually sucks. But before we get into that, I want to discuss like what makes a chart bad in general. So, this is all based on opinion because I don't want to say the wrong thing and then people get mad about it, but what I consider a bad chart is patterns not following the song, um and I can't make up a third thing, but the second thing I want to say is bad timing. Like I feel like timing does throw off a lot of people. It depends on the person, but if I can't time something for shit, then I would consider that a bit bad. But it won't be a major factor in a bad chart. Now, take that as you will. I'm not saying that that those are aspects of a bad chart. I'm sure there are other examples out there which I want to say I'll get into um, later on. So here are some examples of people making this claim, and the way I'll do this is I'll have two two examples. I'll make three examples, but two of them will be in Groove Coaster, and one will be in a different game that I have played before until I stopped. I gotta stop doing that. So the first example I want to make is this. I I was watching this stream of someone playing Groove Coaster of like a month or two back, I will say, and I saw them playing a hard chart, but the chart that I saw was a level 14 in Groove Coaster, which is the second highest level, hardest level out there. It's not, of course, it's not the hardest, but patterns have gotten more complex, either good or bad, badly complex. So I don't know. I don't remember what song they play. I do remember it was a level 14, but when I saw his gameplay of it, he was really he was really struggling. He was really struggling. Couldn't get certain patterns. Even I thought was complex because I had played the song before. I'm sure. Well, what am I saying? I played all the charts in Groove Coaster and Switch. He was having trouble. Couldn't even get a decent score. I'll say not to say that that factors into what's going on now, but couldn't couldn't do patterns well. But when he got to the end of the song, he made the bold claim, and I'm gonna quote this person. He said, "Chart's so garbage," and I'm just like, is it that bad? I looked at it again, and of course, it's not bad. it was just hard, not bad. It was just hard. There were complex patterns, something that I'm sure he has not gotten used to, and I knew I should have planned it out. But yeah, he was just saying like he was struggling to do a hard chart, which the second highest level in Groove Coaster Switch and the other genres. I mean, in other versions. And he just came to the conclusion that the chart is garbage, to quote him. And that does, and it did irk me a bit because it feels like he doesn't want to improve on said song. And hold up, I'm putting this back. I'm tired of seeing that. And he does not want to improve on that song because he thinks the chart is bad. And if you look at those kinds of charts, there's nothing bad about it. It's just hard. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that, but yeah, that's all it is. It's just hard, complex, nothing bad. He, they just have that mindset. He only has that mindset because he's not up on that skill level. I don't know this person too well or how well they play, but to make a claim like that and to not have that skill level yet, it just shows that you don't want to improve because you don't want to learn about the complex patterns that will always appear in harder charts. Like no matter what game it is, like because a lot of rhythm games do tend to have new patterns along the way, and they'll still continue to have new patterns, complex patterns that we the players have to learn. You think it was easy for me to learn some that I have to visually look at instead of practicing it myself? Like what Groove Coaster, while you look at references, you're not exactly playing. You gotta actually play it to get better at it. I think that's all I can say for the first example. I thought I had more to say, but my mind's gone blank. So let's move on to the second example. And like I said before, it's related to Groove Coaster Switch. Now, the second example I'll give is this certain person who complains so much about the Easy 2 on pack being the hardest. He always says how two songs highest level chart is bad. That's all I could say. Bad is the worst. And I'm reading reading the messages, comments, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, it's not bad. Like, it's just I keep making this exact claim too, but it's just hard. Like, there's nothing bad about seeing complex patterns because yeah, I mean, what, like, you can kind of expect new stuff, patterns like that. Like, yeah, it was a big jump between the last pack, but then again, it was bound to happen. Now, let's do Kamui for example, because that was the main contender of having the one of the have being the one of the hardest songs in the game. When that chart came out, he's automatically assuming that it's the worst chart. So I'm just looking at it like, how can you make that claim when you haven't even? I mean, he has played it, but he has not mastered it. Like you can't say something like that because of one time, and you don't see anybody else complaining about that song anyways. I mean, yeah, for me I was struggling a bit because of how the difficulty really spiked up, but I wasn't complaining. I wanted to get it done no matter how hard the challenge was. This isn't supposed to be about me talking about my experience of Kamui again, but here we are. But going back to the example, he because of all the sliders and the new patterns and all, he he's or they, whatever, I don't care. They want to say that that chart is the worst in the game or whatever. And he continues they continue on to say newer, even newer charts having the same kind of patterns as Kamui, calling it dog shit. And honestly, the guy is dumb for even saying that. Like, I'm sorry, but it has to be said. I'm not. I've had it up to that point to where if you think something like that is worse, like wait until you see what's really wait until you see what's really worse. Like if somehow Groove Coaster breaks has the limit break of actually adding a level 16. But call, call it worse if you want, but you're you're pretty dumb for saying it. Now, to go along with the easy to unpack, claim to be said is um another claim to be said is how Daydream was a part of it. Like, I don't know what to say at this point because it kind of aggravates me how many how there are people out there who make such a claim, but it's obviously not up to their skill level, and yet they want to make this claim. Like, I want you to come back and play the game now. I mean, play So Said songs now, and tell me, is it the worst now? Because it's not. It's just hard. And as many times I'm gonna keep saying that, it's just hard. It just means there's room to grow. Like, yeah, there's gonna be hard hard charts out there, but that doesn't automatically mean it sucks because those patterns are obviously going to come up over and over again, and we are expected to have mastered those already. All right, so I did not want to make this about my experience again, but I'm just gonna keep it brief about my experience. But you think you think every chart is gonna be easy, but when I played that song, not songs, a pack of, I mean, of course, I was really struggling at first, but the more I calmed myself down and looked at what I'm up against, I got used to it because I took the time to learn and it paid off. I, I remember spending 3 hours on Kamui just to have it done, but also just because I really wanted it. It's not it wasn't something that I want to get over with and then be done with today. I really wanted it. Anyways, to to follow along what this example is, how they are calling every other chart in that pack the worst because of those same patterns. It it just got to the point where they were just saying that the that because those patterns exist, it's what makes the chart bad. But no. it does not make the chart bad. It, in my opinion, it just makes it more fun because it's something we all learn, and we don't have. And while we do have some kind of limited time in rhythm games, you still want to learn those new things and try to adapt to it. If you say something as what I said, as what I quoted before, chart being hard, though so it sucks, then you don't want to improve. You just want to play it once, not play it again, and then continue to make the claim that this chart is garbage. Now I'm gonna slowly move on to the third example because I am kind of getting angry at this for honestly no reason. The third example comes from a different game, Project Diva. To just to put it out there, it's Project Diva. Now, I wanted to talk about Oedo or Oedo, whatever, however it's pronounced, because that song is infamous for what it is. But however, each time I try to make the claim, I can kind of see why people think it is, because yeah, there are some bad areas that even I know, but to me it's still fun. But I will not be talking about Oedo, unfortunately. I really wanted to. However, there is one song that I never thought about until now. Well, I guess a couple of hours ago. The song I will be talking about is Roki. Roki, Roki, roll. So, there was this guy who I knew back in the Project Eve community when I was still there, claimed that Roki, out of the 10 at the time Megamit songs, was the worst out of the 10. I didn't see, like I said with the previous examples, I didn't see any issues with it. And yet, because of the one guy who claimed that that song was the worst of them all, everybody agreed. And it's like, what the heck? Where did all of that come from? Like, all that because the song was overcharted. Um, I that's all I remember from Roki, that it was just overcharted. But an overcharted chart doesn't mean it's bad, because Roki, honestly, it flows well with its overchartedness. Is that a word? Who knows? Who cares? And when I saw that claim for the first time, I I was I was just I was just in awe, because what do you mean Roki was the worst of the 10? I mean, I understand Oedo, I understand Jitterbug, maybe not Jitterbug because that song was just timely bad, but we're not getting into that. But Roki of all songs, like even for me, for someone who's played it for the first time, I didn't see anything wrong with it. Like just for the first time, nothing was wrong. I mean, yeah, it was overcharted, but the patterns flowed. And because of that whole mindset, many people in that Project Diva community is now believing that Roki was the worst of them all. I will say, however, the Roki Mix Mode chart is bad, but the Edge Stream chart, the actual Edge Stream chart, it's not bad. Yeah, it's overcharted, but an overcharted chart doesn't make it a bad chart. This this wouldn't really go with it. This chart is hard, therefore it sucks. But one of the reasons I'm using this example is because Roki is supposed to be a hard chart. And Yeah, because in the game it's a level 9, and if for those who have played Roki, I'm sure y'all have, because I used I used to put Project Eva content on here, but then I stopped. Yeah, y'all seen it. I mean, it's not the best chart, but it's not the worst chart. Like, I had fun playing it. I'm sure there are some people, some other people who thought it was fun, but for the whole, for the most part, a lot of people saying it's the worst. All because of one person. All because of one person. Now, I'm sure other people have their other opinions about why Roki might be bad instead of it being overcharted, but from for the most part, a lot of people are saying what I've claimed. Roki was too overcharted, and so it's bad. So those are all the examples I can give out. So to sum this all up, those examples show that all of those songs that I have and pack that I have listed were hard songs. So, and because of how hard it is, some people want to claim that it's bad. And it has it has really affected some people's mindset of how they feel about certain charts to a point where they don't want to play those charts, don't want to see themselves improve, and don't want to see themselves improve. Whenever I hear someone say something like that, it really just means that they don't want to improve on those songs. They just want to play it once, cite Reddit once, see how good they can get with the score wise. But when they see that they can't live up to what they expect to have, they wanna they wanna complain, complain about charts pattern and all. But let's be real, a complex pattern does not make a chart bad. And I've already have said that already. I'm pretty sure, but there's a lot of people. Not there are some people. Sorry, not a lot. I'm sure not many people have that mindset. There are many people who would rather stick to something easy rather than something hard. And yeah, I mean, a rhythm game is supposed to be fun, but if you want to improve, you got to learn how to do those patterns and all. Like, yeah, you're gonna struggle a lot, but that's the key of improving. You think I'm actually became good at Groove Coaster when the easy two on, I, I'm not gonna say it. I've said it too much already. But yeah, I was I was no wizard at rhythm games. Like, I wasn't good at Project Diva at first. Wasn't good at DDR. I'm still not good at DDR. But I'm willing to put the time and effort to improve on songs that have those complex patterns. Maybe not now because I'm not too much into games at the moment. That being said, I am playing some games right now, but on the more on the weekend side. But anyways, my point is that you can't claim something sucks because it's too hard. I feel like people have that mind. Some people have that mindset to where they're saying that to every single chart they find hard. It's not just one or two songs. It's like It's like all, if not all, most if not all the higher difficulty level charts. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I want to say about that whole mindset. Like, this this mindset of saying a hard chart sucks. It it I can't express it in words, but just know that it is the dumbest thing that people would ever say in rhythm games. So, right now, as I'm trying to calm down, I'm going to list an example of what I think is a bad chart. And the one example I will be going over is in Groove Coaster, of course. Switch. So, um, a chart I want to discuss is, I guess, considered a classic in Groove Coaster, but that has made its way to Switch version YY Party. The song being "No Way Out." If anyone who's played Groove Coaster know that song, it's alright. But when the Master Chart came out, we have now seen that it was a completely new chart. Not its arcade counterpart or anything. From the looks of it, it's a new chart. But when I played it, oh man, I did not enjoy it. Playing it a couple of times, I was still not having fun with it. And here is why. The charts have so much unnecessary spam where it doesn't even go with the music at all. Like, I am a sucker for overcharged charts if it flows well, but this one does not flow well. I have no idea if that's the only thing that I hate about the chart, but the first thing that came up to me was how overcharted it was. Spams were not fun, and I feel like that was the most unnecessary 15 ever. Like, if you take, if you going back to Easy Tuan, if it, if you, if you compare it with Kamui, at least Kamui was meant to be hard because it was hard in Easy Tuan. It's hard in any other game that it's ever been in. It was expected to be hard because it was hard in any other game that it's been in. So yeah, I kind of it is expected to be a boss song, but for No Way Out, it was not not at all what I thought what it was gonna be. A 15 that was just mostly spam, not fun spams, just spam. I think it's bad because like none of the patterns just flows well with the song, and not to not to mention that there are charts like that are out there, but at least those flow. I can't name any other songs at the moment, but No Way Out was not one of those songs that what I thought to flow well. Like No Way Out was, in my opinion, the worst 15 I've played. I have had more fun learning complex patterns from other 15s in that game. No Way Out was a dumpster fire. Like, I would never play that chart again, ever. I don't even remember the last time I played it. Not gonna lie, maybe like 2 years ago. Do I have any other examples I can give of a bad chart? Not really. I really don't. That's like the one example I want to give. So what I believe to what I think a bad chart is patterns that don't flow well, nor And to put it like 30% of my of that part is would be timing. Timing is timing is key when it comes to charts, but if something throws you off as subtle as that, then you're not gonna have a fun time. So, some final thoughts. If you ever have that mindset of saying a chart sucks because it's hard, I want you to think back at that and play that song again. And once you see how much you're improving on those songs that you claim suck, then you can see how much then you can improve on it. And you'll see how when you say something like that, it kind of I lost my train of thought. when you say something like that, you look back and think, did I really think that was the worst chart in the game? But trust me, it was. To put it in a blunt way, I feel like people say that because of, dare I say, skill issue. Skill issue. I mean, yeah, that's been a meme for who knows how long, but I hate to say it, but you're just stuck in the same skill level that you don't want to improve on other things. So take it as you will, but I feel like a lot of people complain about a chart because it's not up to their skill level, and the only way to improve on said skill is to by playing those hard stuff. This probably ended off a bit badly because already lost my train of thought, but that's pretty much all I have to say about this whole ordeal. Take this rant as you will, but that's how I feel about people making those claims because honestly, it is not a good claim to say a chart sucks because it's too hard. It's more of a, in my opinion, a skill issue. So take that as you will. I may do more commentary based on I don't know. I I never plan these things out, but I'll who knows? I might come back with some other commentary. So thanks for listening. If y'all stuck around for this long, and I'll see y'all next time.